And I know.
You know what's pretty fucking cool? Megalo Box. Megalo Box pretty fucking cool. That's it. That's the whole video in one sentence. Go watch Megalo Box, please. Now, if you want to discuss this with me for a little bit, stay, you little bitch. What I want to discuss here is all of it. I want to discuss how great the show is. I want to look in every excruciatingly boring detail why the show is so great. Hey, boss, gotta... Hey, boss, gotta tell you there's a little problem. Turns out that bitch is like 2 hours and a half, and I'm not editing 2 hours and a half, and you're not watching 2 hours and a half. So we're gonna have to shoot a new condensed version in which we discussed like mainly the main theming, maybe a few aspects of maybe a few other aspects of the show. We're not looking through every single episode, bro. Sorry to tell ya. See ya. Fuck. Yeah, bro. Fuck. Boss. Yeah, cool. So, okay, we're, it's theming. The main theme of the show and the cinematography of the show. That's what we're discussing, apparently. Now, main theme of the show is personal peace. The cinematography, what I like about the cinematography is the fact that it's shown in a subtle ways. It's not in your face like some pieces of media that I have seen. It's not the show doesn't rely on the cinematography to be good. The cinematography is just there and it's great. Now the main theme is personal peace. It's discussed from the very start of the whole show, to the very end, almost to the very end. Everything is about personal peace. It's the thread that holds the show together. It's if you watch carefully enough, it's what's conveyed throughout the whole show, and it's fucking great. And here I'm gonna go into explaining it. Yeah. Hey there, I'm your stepfather, and I'm here to say, bro, you should watch Megalo Box before you watch this video. I know it seems pretty fucking obvious, but you know, I still gotta give you a little bit that spoiler warning. You should watch the show. I'm gonna be spoiling pretty much everything, and try to experience it on your own. You probably won't catch some of the details that I'm gonna be explaining here, so it will be a new perspective. It's good to watch the show first. Yeah, that's it. Shit, I forgot the bit that I was doing. Watch the show or I'm gonna spank you. Yeah, that's it. I'm gone now. Personal peace, how to achieve it. It's what humanity is striving for. It's what we all as human beings try to progress for, to feel fulfilled and to feel good, like a big chunk of the time. Personal peace, key feature of it, but I won't tell you how to achieve personal peace until the end of the video, so just click through, you little bitch. I'm gonna be discussing from the very start to the very end, so stick with me, right? Without personal peace, I'd say we feel lost. We feel like we don't have a purpose. We feel like we don't care about anything. We as a human species. This key feeling of being lost is shown very well with our main character, Joe. Would you believe that? At the very start, he doesn't know what to do with himself. There's this drama between these two choices and shit. Not only that, he's so fucking lost that he jumps off a cliff. For some reason, I don't know. I'm not judging the guy, but that feels pretty lost to me. I'm just saying. He doesn't like what he does. He's just surviving. He's not living all the cliches, bro. This guy is in distress, right? He needs a goal to work towards. He doesn't have any purpose as of this moment. Now, how does he find a purpose? He sees this guy. He sees this son of a bitch, this beautiful son of a bitch, and now he has something that he wants to do. He wants to fight this guy, and he wants to beat the shit out of him, which I'm all for. Now, here is how the whole show goes. So here are big spoilers up ahead. This is Joe, main character. He tries to become the Pirate Hokage King and collect all these Dragon Balls and create the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah. And he wins this big tournament where he beats Yuri. He beats this guy. The whole show is one big progress to Joe beating Yuri. Joe, he set himself on a goal and now he's not feeling lost. It's pretty fucking easy to see. I don't have to spell it out for you, but I'm gonna let this bitch spell it out for you.
I can't go back to that life. Not after he showed me what's out there.
Joe now has a something to strive for. He goes in and tries to achieve that shit. It's easy from here. The very key shit that you have to remember about personal peace is that you have to have a goal, which is what the first two episodes have been about. Joe trying to find a purpose, and he finds a purpose. Okay, now that we have that down, everything up to the very end, almost to the very end, is Joe trying to achieve this single goal, beating Yuri. Now, what's the structure of this? It's build up to a fight, build up to a fight. It's simple. It's nothing complicated, and I'm sure you won't be surprised when I tell you every fight means something. Every fight explores a different part of the struggle of achieving your goal. It shows us through Joe and the people around. Let's discuss it a little bit of every fight. Now, you might think the first fight we're gonna be analyzing is the first official fight, but you're wrong, because you are a dumb fuck. Now, the first fight that we're gonna be discussing is this chunky boy, right? This chunky boy is trying to fuck up Joe. Joe is trying to fuck up him, but Joe fails like a little bitch. Now, Joe has realized something, that with his own skill, he's not able to beat this thick fucking boy, right? So Joe turns back to this bald sack of shit and goes, man, could I have some help over here? That's the first and one of the very key lessons about achieving your goals. You have to have people supporting you. You have to have some way of support. That's people, yeah. So bear that shit in mind, bro. You gotta have your homies. You gotta have your homies for support. That's the first lesson of this little fight. First official fight. What is it? It's against this shark asshole. What's explored here is fear. Now, here we can split the fear in two little ways. Now, the first way we can look at this fear is, oh no, I'm gonna get punched to my death. This guy's gonna punch me so fucking hard that my soul is gonna pop out of my little weak ass body. Now, that may be the first fear. And the second fear is the fear of doing something new. Now, what kind of fear is Joe experiencing? I believe that it's a little of the two, because that's his first match. That's something new that he's trying to do. He's actually trying to win the battle against somebody that's not exactly super fucking weak than him, and he doesn't have gear, which is something new for him as well. What's trying to be drilled in our heads here is fear. Fear is fine. Fear is natural, and it's fine to have fear while doing something new. You have to fight through it, because if you cave in every time you have fear, you will not achieve your goals, man. You gotta risk it sometimes, and that's what the first official battle is about: fear, and how you should overcome it. Second fight. Absolutely nothing happens in the second fight. we don't even see it. And actually the third fight too, we just glimpse over them. It's, yeah. It's a weak point. It's a weak point of the show. I'm sorry to tell you. They didn't have enough time. It's only 13 episodes, and they couldn't have crammed everything. Maybe if I would try to suck the show's dick a little bit more, I would say that this is a representation of if you have a plan, if you have a plan and you work the plan and things go smoothly, it's fine, and you don't have to pay too much attention to it, and it looks like the time is just passing by while you're working towards your goal. But I'm kind of pulling that shit out of my ass, and I'm sure they did because they didn't have time. Straight up, fourth official fight, baby. Now here, believe it or not, it's not much. It's not that much. It's not great. Not that much is explored about Joe and his personal peace that he's trying to achieve. It's explored about Nambu and his relationship towards this army dude or whatever. And I personally didn't have a problem with this because, well, that's the main focus of the fight. I believe that there is a subtle lesson over here. A sort of very key lesson is the fact that, well, you should have people support you. You shouldn't be fully leaning into them, right? You shouldn't be dependent on that person with every single thing in your life. You shouldn't be too overconfident in them. Of course, you should trust them, but you shouldn't trust them in a toxic way, like some characters in the show did. Joe makes very clear distinction that Nambu and him are different guys. They trust each other, they have a bond, but that bond is a healthy bond. It's they're homies and they support each other, but they're not like toxic with each other, bro. They have a good relationship, and that's important, very fucking important. That's a good lesson, if you ask me. That's great. Fifth fight. The fifth fight is about two things. That's more than two, but it's about only two things: how to deal with failure and what happens if you really have set your mind on something. Now, how should you deal with failure? What the show teaches us about failure, and how does the show exactly portray this? The show does it in a very subtle way. It's not like this old sack of shit goes up to Joe and gets, man, just don't think about it, just get over it. That's the lesson, by the way, just get over it. But it's shown, as I said, a little more fancier way. It's shown by the fact that the show doesn't specifically center around Joe's misery. In fact, between their failure and their new plan, we only have two scenes with Joe. The scene where he's beating on this punching bag, and the scene where he seems to be raging. And that's the very key part. We see the aftermath of him raging, you know, he was angry, he was breaking shit, but we don't see him directly breaking shit. In this little, very little way, the show is trying to not focus on the angry Joe. It's trying to focus on the Joe who's trying to think about the plan, and he does think about the plan, and he analyzes the situation. And that's what the show is trying to tell us. We shouldn't be too concentrated on how the fuck we failed. We shouldn't be moping around and being little bitches. Second aspect of the fight. It's when you have a plan and you work that plan, things can go very well. If you don't dwindle on your wins too. You shouldn't be too focused on what have you achieved already. You should be always focused on your goal from the start, which you haven't achieved yet, I'm assuming. Because Joe could have stopped at any point. He could have just I don't know, didn't try that hard. He could have bathed in all the fame that he has, because he's pretty fucking famous. He could have stopped. He could have so, well, man, I can achieve something without, you know, doing fixed fights anymore. I'm kind of popular. I don't need to beat this your guy. I don't need to even be the first guy in the fucking tournament. Who cares, right? But he doesn't do that. He follows his goal. That he said it for himself at the start of the show. Now, how is that shown? It's shown through this shot that I love. I fucking adore it. It's shown through this mirroring shot from the very first battle that he leaned onto other people for support. When he was fighting the chunky boy and when he's fighting this rich asshole, we get the same smooth ass shot of his back against his opponent, and we get like Nambu that he tells us that Joe is basically the same guy that we met at the start. The fame hasn't gotten to him. Something that you can notice here is the fact that this guy is looming over Joe, but Mickey over here, Mickey boy, I don't know, is he Mickey? I don't know, it started with M. This boy right here is not looming over Joe. Joe is in fact bigger than this rich asshole, that's why we can't see him. This portrays that not only Joe is the same man with the same motivation, but he's better than before. Now he's looming over his opponent, not the other way around. Which is pretty fucking cool. as is the whole show. Yeah. Now the sixth official fight is wasted. It's wasted. Why is it wasted? I don't know. There was a clear opportunity to show how Nambu changed for Joe, and the fight still could have some narrative lesson about achieving your goals. They just didn't put anything, or at least I didn't saw anything. It's kind of disappointing, if we're being really honest. I feel like this guy, this lion fucker, I don't even know his name, is wasted too. I feel like he's a wasted character. There was definitely a lot of things that could have been made with him, but he was just there to be beaten by Joe. Kinda unfortunate. That's a low point of the show. Yeah, surprisingly, I'm not sucking on one of the show's boss while I'm talking to you. It's yeah, real breather. I know. Now let's just jump into the last fight between Joe and Yuri. Very key point for the whole series. What's so great about this last fight? This is the culminating moment of everything. But I feel like we have to make a little revision of what these characters have made for each other up until now. Yuri and Joe, they have talked, let's go over it, like 4 or 5 times with each other. If you were looking at this from a more of an objective stance, they would be like light acquaintances or some shit. They definitely wouldn't be friends, and they definitely shouldn't be doing so much shit, risking such a big part of their life just so they can fight each other. But they still do it. You know why they do it? Because they are indulging in a shit ton of self-delusion. Now this may just feel like I'm shoehorning it in, but I'm not, and I swear it's part of the show. Here I'll explain it real fast, real quick, real clean. Let's start with Yuri. Yuri abandons his dream. He says, nah bros before hoes, I guess, and he leaves this chick and goes to this other guy and has his gear removed, something that he has been working for, and this girl that he shared something with, they have been working for this gear like a lot of time, and he just fucking abandons it. Not only that, he suffers what I'm pretty sure the show said was 5 days of unstoppable pain. Excuse me? 5 days of unstoppable pain so that he can face Joe on quote-unquote equal footing. I'll get to that later. Not only that Yuri sacrificed so much of his life, he almost literally sacrifices his life, because at the end of the fight he almost dies, which is implied very fucking heavily. Not only that, after the fight, I'm willing to say that he's permanently crippled just from fighting Joe in such a bad condition. And this for a guy that he has talked with 5 times max, bro. What? And that's not even counting Joe and his self-delusion. Shit gets even a little more crazier when we look at this shit from very fucking far, because Joe has I'm pretty sure multiple times where he can't sleep from the pain that he has from his battles.
Oh, everything hurts.
He pisses blood like it's a regular fucking thing.
Damn, still pissing blood.
Not only that, he risks his life every single time that he enters the ring, because if he doesn't have his guard up like normal, or if the guy gets just a lucky fucking punch, he is dead, bro. This machinery is pretty fucking powerful, bro. This can split your fucking skull in two if you hit hard enough with it. And Joe just decides to throw his life away and fight, just so he can fight Yuri. Remember, this is also he can get to the finals and fight Yuri. That's it. He doesn't want to prove himself. He doesn't want to get the title of #1 boxer or Pirate Hokage King or fucking whatever. He just wants to battle Yuri. When looking at things from this certain angle, they sure sound like a fun bunch, like a real self-delusional bunch, because they're extremely self-delusional, and I can't do anything about it but be happy about it, that they could be so into something, bro, because that's the key part that I haven't exactly explored up until now, and that is supposed to be explored as you look at the show from afar and try to analyze it. That the very, very key feature, apart from other people's support, is your motivation to have a goal, which we didn't explore because the show doesn't explore that deeply, which I believe the motivation of for you to do something is self-delusion, bro. You have to tell your mind that this is very fucking important, even though it's not. He could have done a shit ton of different other things just to fight Yuri, and he could have just not fought Yuri and tried to, I don't know, better his life in many other ways. But he decided that he was gonna throw his life away just so he can fuck with this guy. And the same goes for Yuri, which, by the way, had a match with Joe while in while facing the extreme repercussions of having his gear removed. AK, he couldn't fucking sit. He was I don't know, hurting. I don't know, the show doesn't say specifically, but it said specifically that Yuri couldn't sit because he wouldn't be able to stand afterwards. And that was like, I don't know, round 3 or whatever. That's not equal footing, right? You catch my drift, right? This is just self-delusion. These guys are too much into their own heads and are too fucking excited about something that doesn't make any sense. And that's how we humans work. We just tell ourselves that whatever we're doing, it's super fucking special and it's so important for us, which is stupid. It's not like that. In the grand scheme of things, nothing really fucking matters. And yet we're able to get into our own heads so much to trick our minds in thinking that if I beat this guy, or while I'm beating this guy, it's gonna be the greatest moment of my life. Which it is. It is for the both of them. That has been said specifically, that it was the greatest moment of their both lives. The fact that they're facing each other and one of them is going to win in a quote-unquote fair match. Kinda depressing. I'm sorry. Now that we're done with that quick revision, let's go to the main part, to the main theme of Megalo Box. Personal peace. How do you achieve personal peace? Well, if we look outside of the picture, not as outside as we were looking a couple of seconds ago, but still outside of the picture, we would see that if this is actually the greatest moments of their lives, that means everything from there is gonna be down to hell, baby. It's not gonna get better than this. And that moment already fucking passed. Now that they have achieved this battle that we were watching for 13 episodes is now done. And what the fuck happens now? Now they have the rest of their lives living with apparently the greatest moments of their life already passed, right? Well, that's not exactly right. That's not that. Because when you achieve something great, you know what you do? You set yourself another goal. You set yourself something else to do. You set yourself something to strive for, because that's what life is. It's just a continuous battle of misery and challenges that you set for yourself just so you have a purpose for existing. It's really fun. And we all enjoy it, I'm sure. Now, am I pulling this shit out of my ass? No, I'm not. I swear. Because of this very last shot, if we don't count the credits, which we don't count. The very last shot of the show is Joe in the desert, where we found him at the very start of the show, in the desert, dancing. He's dancing. He has his music up in the background and he's grooving it out. Now, at first thought, you might think,
I am so confused as to what is going on right now. The fuck is this music? He's dancing now. What?
But what's this trying to represent is the fact that Joe is looking towards new opportunities with his life, new ways that he could take his experience and maybe achieve another goal, be open to another aspects of life, and not necessarily new aspects, but things that take from his past experience and make him better in the sphere, because boxing has been referenced as dancing a couple of times, aka it means that he's discovering a new aspect of his skills, he's discovering something new about himself while using the experience that he had, and he's looking towards a new goal to set for himself and to achieve, so he can feel this happiness of the greatest moment of my life once again. What's this, you fucking idiot? Is that what you're wasting our time for? Just have shit to do? No, that's not how you achieve personal peace. Personal peace, my dear fuckers, is achieved at your very last moments. Let me explain. It's achieved in your very last moments, strictly because that's when you make a little retrospective of your life. You're not gonna be able to achieve anything else in the next 10 minutes in which you're gonna die. You look at how have you spent your time in your life, right? What have you achieved? What are the things that have been important to you? And while you're looking at that, you think of all the memories that you have, all the greatest moments of your life, right? And the huge verdict on that is, yeah, it was a good way to spend your time. That's it. If you feel that fulfillment, that the time that you spent was actually worth it, you were doing something, you were achieving something, you were working towards something, and you look back to that and you decide for yourself that was a time well spent, man. You know, you do what you could, you achieved some things, and you didn't waste your time. All the time that we have been living is basically wasted, but for you it's not wasted because you achieved something that interests you, something that you were engaged in. That's the magic of personal peace, being content with yourself and the time that you have spent on earth. Now, once again, maybe like the past few minutes, it may seem that I'm pulling this shit straight out of my fucking asshole, which once again I'm not. We can go to the last moments of Yuri when he was going out of the battle, and he was fighting for his life, and I'm pretty sure he almost had made peace with the fact that he was gonna die. You know what his last words were? You little fucker, listen up.
Whether you wield the reins of power beneath a weighty crown, or are the most destitute of paupers, no man escapes death. But if you live life so that when it comes you're satisfied, even if it's not the end you'd hoped for, you'll have no cause to fear mortality.
That's right, he says that, which is what I said, but with fewer words. If you don't have anything to regret, meaning you have spent your time in ways that you care about, it's worth it in the end, because in the end you achieve personal peace. And this is where a normal video would end, but since you're watching this fucking monstrosity, I have a little something at the end of the video to talk about, and that's what's the show's biggest mistake. Why is it not proclaimed as this masterpiece, masterful done piece of art that I'm proclaiming it to be? And that's simply because this show is not a show, it's an anime. And that's a very, very unfortunate category to be in, because I believe that Megalo Box should be grouped with all of these great shows. It has, I feel like, the same qualities, even better at times than all of these shows and all of these movies. But since it has been made in an industry that focuses mainly on teenage boys with swords and big cartoon tits, it's loomed in that category, and it's an anime, it's a Japanese cartoon, and there is this huge divide between that pile of shit, Megalo Box, was standing, flying, hovering on top of the pile of shit, and these great pieces of media. There is this divide by people who don't want to involve themselves with this piece of shit, so they will never see Megalo Box. Now, I'm not saying there is not a overlap at some point, and I'm sure some people would enjoy the show for what it is. But unfortunately, the broader public will never even discover Megalo Box. And I believe if they did discover Megalo Box, they would be grateful that somebody made them watch it, because they would be able to see through the surface of this show and see the deeper theming that we've been talking about for like 40 minutes now. The second biggest aspect of this mistake of the show is the fact that Megalo Box is maybe not your surface level anime. It can be seen as that, and a lot of fucking people did see it like that, and that's, dare I say, a little bit of a fucking problem, because there's this huge theme under the surface and overarching through the whole show, and people just see people boxing because that's all they consume. Because most of the anime, spoiler warning over here, is very, very surface level. It's made to look visually appealing and have something to hook you in, and nothing more than that in most cases, which is unfortunate, because I'm sure some people see the show for what I know some people see the show for what it truly is, but the problem is that the broader anime watching public will never see it for its true colors.
There could have been all these amazing stuff about the gear and all these cool abilities. The fights could have been more intense and better. The soundtrack could have made a whole lot of difference among the fights. And it was just some like inner dialogue bullshit for the most part. And the fights, I don't know, they just didn't matter. There was some background story to the guys, and then they just fucked off.
So I'd pretty much class this as kind of an average kind of boxing anime.
Konnichiwa minna, this is yours truly, OG, aka Osagogul here once again.
And the people that would be able to see it for its true colors are too busy watching or engaging themselves in better environment. Let's say it that way. And it's really unfortunate, because I know that the anime made some rounds and some headlights. It was popular. It was semi-popular when it released, because some big YouTube guys talked about it. But unfortunately, they what I would say read my anime list of the show and didn't even bother to dig a little deeper into the show's theming, ideas, or anything else apart from, oh yeah, it looks old, it looks good, and it has great music. Which is fine now. I'm not trying to knock anybody's hustle or something. It's just, they could have done a little more with their influence and their resources to promote this great show. Or just to discuss this great show, but they didn't, because I have no fucking idea. I'm just sad that Megalo Box will never receive the praise that it deserves, and that's not cool. Here is it. You made it. This is the end. I wanted to discuss many other topics. I want to have at least a little bit of a segment where I discussed a little more of the cinematography, and I wanted to dissect scenes, and I maybe look over some fan theories and stuff, because I know they exist, and see other theming behind the show, and see a little more than the surface level main idea behind the show. But well, you know. So with that said, please go watch Megalo Box. As I just fucking said, there is plenty more to discover, and plenty more to relive again, and plenty more cool shit to be had with this great show. So please don't let it die. That's it. Yeah, get the fuck out of here and go watch Megalo Box. Yeah, cunt.